Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first ever podcast by Special Mass Academy. My name is Anmok Abdul Wahab, and I'll be your host today. So in this podcast, we're going to meet the team, the brains behind the day-to-day running of Special Mass Academy. Before we get started, before I allow them to introduce themselves, what we're going to do is I would like to tell the viewers that they can follow this conversation from our various social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Special Mass Academy, and you can follow with the hashtag Meet the Team. By the time you watch this episode, the hashtag would be available on all our various social media channels. So make sure you follow the conversations, and then you can ask any question you want to the team members. Now, without further ado, I would like to call on all of my guests in today's call to introduce themselves and basically give a brief background of what they do and what role they take in Special Mass Academy and some of their achievements. So I would like to hand over the mic to Ms. Nwachukwu to start with.
Okay, thank you, Abdul Wahab. So as he's already said, my name is Mesomachi Nwachukwu. I've participated for several years in the Maths Olympiads where I got to meet some of the instructors. And in 2019, I received a message from someone on Facebook, Abdul Wahab, inviting me to something, an idea that basically most other I passed IMO Olympiads have had, and yeah. So when I came in, I took the role of geometry instructor, but currently I'm the CEO. And over the years, I've represented Nigeria 5 times at the IMO and twice at the PAMO. Gotten an honorable mention 3 times and the silver medal 2 times at PAMO, honorable mention at IMO. So yeah, I think that's a basic introduction about myself. Yeah.
Now we'll move to Williams to give a brief introduction about himself.
Thank you. So my name is Williams Okeke. I'm an instructor at Special Mass Academy. I am currently in my bachelor's degree studying pure mathematics in Rosen University in Moscow. Yeah, I got into Special Mass Academy through Mesomachi. He told me about Dr. Wahab, and later on, I later joined in mostly as an order instructor, and that is my specialty. So, yeah, I participated in the Maths Olympiad as well. I have 3 or 4 years experience in Maths Olympiad. So I was able to, within my participation, I got 2 mentions at IMO and 2 gold medals at PAMO. So I just want to bring my wealth of experience in Olympiad to help the younger generation. That's why I decided to be able to work in this Special Mass Academy to help the future generation. So thank you.
That's pretty cool. Wow. I mean, there are some of the things I'm hearing today that I haven't known about our instructors and co-founders of Special Mass Academy. So it's quite interesting to learn about this. So now we'll move to Okezie. You can pick up the mic and speak to it.
All right. Hi, my name is Okezie Chiadozie. I'm one of the instructors here at SMA. So I'm a 2-time IMO participant. I got an honorable mention once, and I have a silver medal at Pan-African Maths Olympiad too. At Special Maths Academy, I'm mostly in charge of creating solutions to Nigerian Maths Olympiad videos for our YouTube channel, and then I also handle anything that has to do with computers and technical stuff at Special Maths Academy, like our website and building other computer-related things. And I assist in handling the junior class too. Yeah, nice to speak to you guys today.
Oh, that's wonderful. I mean, Okezie, he recently, participated in. I think he's one of the latest, participants of among the Nigerian, Olympians at the International Maths Olympiad. So yeah, it's great to know that Special Maths Academy has a lot of, interesting personalities in its team. Okay, now we'll move to Ottucci to speak to us a little bit about his background and the roles that he takes at Special Maths Academy.
Hello, I'm Ottucci Caleb Walimba. So I've represented Nigeria twice in the IMO. I got a honorable mention once, and I represented them lastly in the PAMO, getting a silver medal. So I was invited to the SMA by Dr. Abdul Wahab, and I was glad to join. And currently I'm working with I'm working as an instructor, taking classes, mostly the pre-Olympia class. Thank you.
All right, great. Now, last but not the least, we'll move to AGFA.
Okay, my name is Ejaifil Bukome. I have about 4 years of Olympiad experience. I represented Nigeria once at the IMO. I joined Special Mass Academy last year. Was invited to by the CEO, Mesomachi, and I'm really glad I joined. It's really nice. Presently, I'm in charge of Special Mass, most of your social media posts, as well as Special Mass Academy's long-term projects. Let me use that word, including our soon-to-be published book. I'm actually in charge of those projects and any other project that I feel that my input is needed on.
All right, great. So we've heard a lot from the co-founders and the instructors at Special Mass Academy. But I think one of the questions at the heart of the viewers would be, what is Special Mass Academy and what problem are they trying to solve? Right. So in order to answer this question, I would call on Mesomachi, the current CEO of the company, to give us a little bit of color to what Special Mass Academy is all about.
For that question, Dr. Abdul. So Special Mass Academy, most times when I think of Special Mass Academy, a short way of describing it would be like the Nigerian version of the AOPS. Okay, so Special Mass Academy we are mostly interested in, giving young talents in Nigeria who are, interested in mathematics, giving them that edge to be competitive at the world stage. We work with schools that are open to work with us. We're always, looking for schools open to work with us, and we work with them, train their young, bright students, make them very competitive at the world stage. And the goal is not just for them to be, to write competitions and whatnot. The goal is for them to be problem solvers. We need to arm this for Nigeria to be able to, make good, serious strides in the next generation in terms of technology. These young lads need to be equipped with serious problem-solving skills, and Special Mass Academy is very much interested in helping the next generation of Nigerians achieve that. And of course, Special Mass Academy, it's not just a profit-driven company or something. We're more of value-driven. Mostly, our target audience, our target market is the Nigerian market, students in Nigeria. But of course, we are open to working with students from various parts of the world. We have connections with students in other countries in Africa as well. So that's one of the problems that Special Mass Academy is working to tackle in the Nigerian sector. So one, to equip these young students who are interested in mathematics, to equip them to be competitive at the world stage, give them problem-solving skills, help them acquire problem-solving skills, basically. Then to boost mathematics education in Nigeria, because we want, as the world is moving, progressing, we don't want Nigeria to be left behind in terms of mathematics education. So we need mathematics education, a mathematics sector in Nigeria to be up to date. And Special Mass Academy is very much interested in helping the Nigerian educational system achieve that.
Okay, cool. Something that came to my mind while you were giving us a little bit of taste of what Special Mass Academy is all about is, what are some of the current programs or some of the programs that Special Maths has undertaken in the past since its inception?
Okay, a very good question. So of course, I've been talking about helping, to boost mathematics education in Nigeria, and of course, how have we tried to do that in the past? What programs have we done? So we've in the past done summer programs, summer camp for 2 years, 3 years now. And we also have academic session long programs where we work with schools to, help their students when the school is in session, bring them, extracurricular maths classes sort of, and that's been very, very fruitful. We have, some success stories from that already. What mentioning is Jacob who's from Crystal International School. So these are like our two major programs we've been working on in the past.
All right. Oh, that's very cool. I'm sure that many of our viewers will be interested in, taking up some of those programs. So just to
they're always welcome to.
Yeah. So
just something else that maybe like our viewers may be interested in too is our problem column of the month. So every month we propose a problem for anyone on the internet to solve. Yeah, you can always find the problem of the month on our website. Yeah. That's another interesting kind of thing that we do in maths education too. Yeah.
And if you send in a correct solution, you stand a chance of being featured on our platforms.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And this and the people might be wondering what's the website. The website is specialmaths.ng, right? You go there, you go to Problem Corner, and you'll be able to see all the previous problems and the current one as well. Okay, now moving on from this, I think our viewers now understand what Special Maths Academy basically do, right? And they are able to speak to the CEO of the company, which is quite great. So now we're going to move on to speaking with Williams and Ottucci to give us a little bit of how they got involved with special maths. So I think Williams a little bit mentioned that in the beginning, but we would like him to give us a little bit more, explanation to how he got involved.
Okay. So, sometimes in 2019, I think I got involved with special maths through our CEO, Mr. Ottucci. So he told me that Dr. Wahab contacted him about us trying to maybe create a mathematical institution that will help revolutionize Olympiad in mathematics, because given the current trends, things were back then, it seemed like the Olympiad culture was on a steep decline, and I wanted to bring back that culture again, where people try to be very competitive and where people want to participate more in Olympiad because there are a lot of difficulties. So we just wanted to solve that problem there. So Mr. Ottucci then gave me this his contact. So I chatted with him along the way, and I got very much interested. He told me of him, so many plans he had, the goals, and they were lofty goals, very lofty, but everything was well laid out, and it was very feasible to achieve those goals. We put in the whole effort. So I like the way started so far, and I believe we're in the right direction. I believe we keep on going further and further to achieve those goals. One goal I think Mr. Ottucci mentioned earlier on was like Special Maths Academy is like the Nigerian version of AOPS, Act of Problem Solving, Living Full. So that was one of the things Mr. Wahab he told me about. So it's just something that I really wanted.
Thank you, Mr. Ottucci. Williams. Let's move to Ottucci. Let him share a little bit of how he got involved.
Okay, thank you. So my story is like similar to Mr. Ottucci and Williams' story, just that they met Dr. Abdul Wahab on Facebook / on the internet, while I met Dr. Abdul Wahab in person. So I think I was in SS1 or so then, and then Dr. Abdul Wahab was working with me to help me prepare for Maths Olympiads then. And like during that period, we discussed a lot of things, and he kept on like he showed a lot of passion about improving the way the Olympiad culture in Nigeria is. So we spoke a lot. He told me about some of the ideas that he has. Like once in a while, he'd tell me, when we start our company, we're going to fix this. When we start our company, we're going to fix this. And like from that point onwards, I knew he had a vision, and I knew that what he was working towards was something awesome. And I knew that was something I wanted to be part of too. And initially I started as like a student at Special Maths Academy. So I think that year I qualified for the IMO, and Special Maths Academy hosted a free Olympiad training program for us. So I attended that. Later that year, I also attended the summer camp, and like I enjoyed how everything was. And I knew that this was something I definitely wanted to work. This was something I wanted to work with after I finished secondary school. So after that point, like I kept in touch with Dr. Abdulwahab. We're communicating frequently. And then once I graduated from secondary school, I like the next week or so, I joined special I joined Special Maths Academy, and the journey and my journey at SMA began. Yeah. So that's my story.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Of course, I mean, I met with you guys, but most of you were already thinking about, I mean, already had that passion in you already. So
yeah, definitely. This was more like of an organized way of doing, of expressing that passion.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to take,
exactly.
You know, for what you guys have been able to accomplish with Special Maths Academy. I mean, I was just a vessel to communicate the vision, just like everyone is already thinking, right? So, so now,
like previously, right? This Maths Olympiad team was more of like a school and inter-school something. Like in my school, I help train other students in my school. When Mesumachi and Williams were in school too, they also helped train students in their school. But Special Maths Academy is like a way of expanding our reach from just within our school to like anyone, anywhere around the world. Instead of just being able to teach my classmates and friends, I'll be able to share my knowledge with anyone in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. Yeah, and that's awesome.
That's great. That was a nice, you know, wrap up by Okezio on his experience on how he got involved with Special Maths Academy. So which is pretty cool. I'm learning a lot of things I never even knew about the instructors here. So it's cool that we're having this conversation. So now, before we move ahead, I just want to tell the viewers that they can join this conversation on our hashtag Meet the Team on any of our social media platform, on Facebook at Special Maths Academy, on Twitter at Special Maths, and on Instagram at Special Maths Academy. So make sure you join the conversation. You can ask any question to any of the instructors and you get response, or we can compile those questions and in future episodes of this podcast, you get your answers. Oh, now we're going to move to Ottucci. So what basically we want you to tell us is, at what point do you realize that you're actually good at Olympiad level maths, and how was the journey for you until you got to that point?
So of course your growth or progress in Olympiad maths it can be very funny at times. It's not just some straight line with some constant slope, because at the beginning you feel like you're not really making any progress, like, right? You're always studying and learning techniques, learning theorems. But when it comes to using those techniques, like in problems, you don't really know how to put 2 and 2 together and solve the whole problem. Or you may be able to solve maybe the sample problems when you're studying them, but when you are faced with a new problem, you might get stuck at times and you might be finding problem solving very difficult. So you feel like you're not really making any progress, but then you keep studying, and at some point it's very sudden. Like at some point you just realize, wow, I'm good at this. I'm very good at this. So you just realize that you're just solving problems at the level that you could not imagine yourself solving 2 days, 3 days ago. You just see yourself solving them. I think for me, that was during my SS1 period. I believe by then I had already been knocked out from the NMC, and I think prior to that I was feeling disappointed and dejected, and I wanted to quit Olympia. Like, of course, why am I wasting my time? Let me just focus on my work, on my jam. But I got advice from Dr. Abdulwahab and a lot of people, and I decided to move on and keep going. And suddenly I just discovered that, wow, I've gotten really good. I find myself solving problems, especially in geometry. I find myself using really advanced things in geometry. And that time I was really feeling like, oh, if I just gotten a few more points and qualified for the third round, fourth round, I would have been able to achieve something this year maybe. But thank God I kept on. I was able to keep on studying. I was able to keep on the hard work. I didn't give up. And the next year, I made the team and I was able to get a honorable mention in the IMO. And the year after that, I made the team again and I got a silver medal in the PAMO. So I just want to use this opportunity to tell a lot of guys that maybe if you are studying Olympiad and you feel like you're not really making any progress, just keep the hard work, keep working hard, keep studying, keep learning these things. Then at some point you will just find out that it can be very sudden. It will be unexpected. You just find out that you are very good at this. So you definitely get to that jump point.
Oh.
Right. Thanks.
All right. That's actually pretty cool. I think most of us can relate to what you're saying, right? I mean,
yes, of course.
All of us can relate.
all of us can relate. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. It's not always so
all
straightforward.
of us can relate. Yes.
I mean,
most of the time is even worse than not.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I actually wanted to ask though, there is this popular saying that it takes about 1,000 hours, to be able to get very skilled at a particular skill, right? So I wanted to ask you, is that true for the Olympiads? Like, do you think, like when you approximate the amount of hours you spent preparing yourself for the, for the competition, would you say that there is about a number of hours that you have to study for before you get really good?
I mean, it's kind of tough to quantify, the number of hours. Because, for instance, me personally, I'm attempting a problem. Let's say I'm attempting an IMO level problem, because proof is a proof problem, and you go all in for this problem. 1 hour looking at this problem, no breakthrough. Then maybe you just go, maybe play with your friends or something, or you're eating or something. But somewhere in your subconscious, you're still working on that problem. So now, will you count that as an active hour put into the problem solving? I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but yeah, it's kind of tough to quantify the hours for me. But yeah, I mean, over the years, maybe when you sum up the hours, it could reach 1,000 hours. Who knows?
Yeah, I see. I mean, so would you say? So let me put it this way. So before you were able to qualify to represent the country at the IMO, how many years were you preparing yourself before you got there? Or was it the first year? I mean, you already at that level at the very first year that you started competing.
The first time I reached the third round, that was in JS3.
Yeah.
And like my score was 4. So, I mean, some people might be looking at SMA instructors that these guys don't get poor scores in NMC Olympiads. My score was very poor. So, but I was in JS3. I was like the 8th position. I didn't qualify. I didn't make the team. I was like 7th, not 8th. So Professor Schlerin, then who was the DG, was like, okay, we can come as observers. Okay. So then that short period of time, I spent with the other people from the team, I think it's boosted me exponentially, I guess. And so the next year I made the team like in a comfortable position. So I don't know if I would say 1 year, but of course, in JS2 I had written American mass competition. So I don't know if I will count that as preparation towards IMO. I don't know, but yeah, that's for me though.
Well, that's pretty cool. 1 year, probably that's not true for many people. I mean, if you are working at Special Mass Academy, then it must be true for you, right? Because the smartest of Nigerians are working at this company. So
yeah, maybe
that was good to know. Okay, now I would like to ask Ijefe something that I think many viewers would be thinking at the moment. Like, these guys, okay, they seem very cool, but then who are their major influence? Right. So I would like to ask you from your journey, what were the major influences that you had growing up and while you were competing at the Olympiads?
Okay, well, for me, when I was in primary school, I came to my first foreign to mass was quite early. I was in primary 5. Then this OKZA school, they had this competition they called the ANMC. OKZA should know it. I think you won it. So I participated in the ANMC, qualified for the states. I went to the nationals, but they were supposed to take 15 winners, but I came in 17th and I missed it by like 2 slots.
Oh my God.
And I was even surprised because my score then was like really high. I had like 97 points or something. So it was really competitive then.
Yeah.
So, but my teacher then in primary school, I actually like to appreciate him because at that point I was like, oh, this business is somehow, as I say, get us a big worry. But he encouraged me actually. So when I came into secondary school in JS2, when I wanted to go into Olympiads, I still went back to him. But I would say my Olympiad journey was more of a personal one because my teacher then was not conversant with Olympiad mass. And the school I went to, the teachers there, Olympiad maths and them, they are also very far away. So I actually worked mostly on my own throughout my journey.
Wow.
Started with those high school books, attempted many problems. I did not even understand what I was doing. I think I even memorized solutions at some point. So
Yeah, I did that.
I did. I was just so
Yeah, I did that.
I first qualified for third round in JS 3. That was when I met the Ottucci and the Misomachi and the Williams. So when I got there, I remember my third round experience was bad. And when the scores came, like Williams and Misomachi were at the top. If you even multiplied my score by like times 30, it was not even close to what those guys scored. It was not zero, but it was nothing. So it was really something. Yeah. Those guys really challenged me. Olympia has really challenged me. So I said, no, I went back to the drawing board. Throughout SS1, I worked hard, worked on it. Then I came back in SS2. SS2, I came sixth. Then SS3, I qualified for the IMO. So it was really, really a nice journey. Yeah. So
I mean, it's quite interesting that your journey is a little bit different from some of the, as I'm aware, some of the other members of this panel.
Yeah.
I mean, you were able to self-motivate, you you started this journey. It's as if you're on your journey on your own, right? You didn't have much help, right? Going through the Olympiad and all of that. So, I mean, this should tell some of the young guys that are trying to participate in this competition. If you don't have help, right, it means that you can still do it, right? Because it's possible that you come from a school or a background where you don't have people around you that understand what you're going through and what it actually takes to compete at that level, but you can still do it. And this is why we have a community here. You can join us and then, you feel part of a community. So you have to go through this journey in a hard way, right? But the rest of this is why we've created this community so that other youngsters do not, face the same problem. So it's quite interesting to learn that, learn about your journey. Okay, now I would like to ask Misomachi something that has been bothering me through this whole conversation, because as I know that when you work with tough problems like, Olympiad maths, right? There are times that you feel like all hopes are lost, right? So I want to ask you, what are some of the eureka moments you've had while you were solving some of those tough problems?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that question. So there's one eureka moment that stands out for me. In fact, most of my students in the geometry class, I always tell them about this eureka moment. So that was in 2015. That was in 2015.
I was in one of those classes.
It's an interesting story.
Yeah.
So those days, when you're coming to the IMO camp, like when you're preparing before you travel to the country, 2015, that was Thailand. I was supposed to go to Thailand. So Henry was one of the people training us then. So you come with your laptop. And of course, my laptop was loaded with this thing. We had PES 13 then, Pro Evolution Soccer 13. Okay, so Henry was a very rigorous trainer, and he gave us one assignment like that, very tough, to submit the next day. To me, it looked impossible. Wow. So I should remember the problems clearly. One was to prove the Zach's theorem. Another one was to prove Pappus theorem, Pascal's second theorem, and then one was about one equilateral triangle. So the equilateral triangle question wasn't easy, but it was the easiest relatively. I mean, things can only get much more difficult when you're talking of IMO level maths. So the equilateral triangle question, I solved that one quite immediately, just using congruent triangles ideas. And then, so we're camping in NCIC Abuja. So after dinner, I think dinner was at about 6. Okay. So after dinner, I went to the class and I was just pushing hard on Pappus theorem, pushing hard. So from around that, 7 to 2 a.m. It was 2 a.m. I got my breakthrough finally. So after I got it, I just ran to the hostel. I went to Henry's room and I told him I had solved the problem finally. And he's a wicked tutor, basically. Of course, I said in a joking manner. And I just called him let's just play PES 13, let me cool off. So I was just all over the place in the hostel that day. So I was feeling very much achieved. Because I mean, if you go deep into geometry, you know that Pappus's theorem, Pascal's theorem, and Desargues' theorem, these are like, you're talking of projective geometry. So this is like advanced stuff in geometry. So I was feeling like on top of the world because I had solved a geometry problem relating to projective geometry, and I did not know projective geometry. So I was like, who knows? Maybe if I was born in that time, I'll be among these famous mathematicians. So yeah, I felt really happy. Then another one that stood out for me was, I think, one of the, so far, the only like IMO problem 6 problem I've solved. IMO problem 6. I've solved that's 2001 IMO problem 6. So it was a number theory problem. So then I was still communicating with Pius Onaje, who's also an instructor at SMA, a bronze medalist, but unfortunately can't be in this podcast. So I was communicating with him, and you know this thing, Pius is like a mentor to me. So like after I had solved the problem, it took me like, basically I was pushing on this problem. That problem was my life for like 2 days. So I was pushing on that problem, and when I solved it, I just kept on, messaging Pius, communicating with Pius and whatnot. So yeah, I was just like happy. Basically, when I solved the problem, I had the eureka moment. I'm just like all over the place, basically happy. Go to the fridge, take food from what my mother has put in the fridge, and yeah, that's just
wow. That's pretty cool. I mean, I know that most of us have had those kind of experiences, right? And for those of our viewers who do not know who Henry is, Henry Anyobe is the only Nigerian to have gotten 4 bronze medals at the International Mathematics Olympiad.
Yeah, of course. So someone with 4 bronze medals, you can imagine the training.
Yeah, it's like the godfather in Nigeria. Now we also have, although we don't have him present today, as Pius Honor, who is also a grand master of Olympiad and mathematics education in Nigeria. So
the Mass General himself.
The Mass General, we call him the Mass General. So hopefully in future episodes of this podcast, he would join us, right, for a conversation. Now, for our viewers, I would want you to remember that you can follow this conversation on all of our social media channels, on Facebook at Special Maths Academy, on Twitter at Special Maths, and on Instagram at Special Maths Academy. So, with the hashtag Meet the Team, you can ask any of your questions there, and our team of instructors will be more than happy to respond to you. Now, let's move on. Let's shift the gear a little bit and let's talk to Williams a little bit, right? So, Williams, what was some of the relationships that you had with your teachers while you were competing at the Olympiads? I mean, for me, before you respond, for me, I remember that my teacher was very important for me in terms of helping me to get to compete at the highest level. So he was always with me, encouraging me. Although, like everyone here would recognize, our teachers usually know a little bit lesser of the Olympiad maths than we do, right? But they are still there at the background to help us, to encourage us, to guide us through how to keep working hard for the things that we do. So I would like to know from Williams, how was your own relationship? Any funny moments that you could tell from your experience and journey?
Okay. So along the line, I had several Maths Olympiad teachers, Akata, then Mr. Daniel, then Mr. Olatunde, and so many. So all of them were really nice to me. So yeah, as you pointed out, Mr. Wahab, many of them, they don't really have so much exposure with Olympiad. Yeah. So in the solving aspect, they could try to do some things, maybe to motivate you or to give you material and all that. But yeah, they could not really, with all due respect, they couldn't, it's difficult for them to like really teach you stuff properly. But I remember when I was in junior school in Australia, so back then I was not really, really so strong in Olympia. So I actually remember my junior Maths Olympia school teacher, that is Mr. Akada. I remember him teaching me mathematical induction. So he was the first person who exposed me to principle of mathematical induction. Yeah. So back then, to be honest, right now, like my level of knowledge in induction now, kind of the way he taught it back then was probably not the best way, but he actually did his best, in my opinion. But so that moment though, yeah, the way he taught it was looking a bit unintuitive to me. But yeah, later on, when I learned it on my own, yeah, when I started like improving in Olympia, yeah, later on, what he taught me back then, even though it was not completely like sufficient, it really helped me to understand it later on when I started like when I could like mature, start reading books on my own. Because when I was in chess, it was difficult for me to read things on my own. So yeah, he actually helped along the way, and yeah, he was only my teacher for 1 year. Then when I moved to senior school, my math Olympia teacher was first Mr. Daniel. So yeah, he mostly helped. He helped me with a whole lot of materials, like number theory. He found a way to like get so many materials. He even ordered some of them on his own. Like I remember back then when the created geometry in math Olympiad, written by Evanchen, when it just came out, like he got it like less than 3 months after it came out. Like he bought it, he ordered it, and we got it in our school. So he really helped in the material aspect, and I really appreciate him for that. But in the teaching aspect, yeah, it was a bit similar. He taught me some things also, like I remember generative functions and some ideas in combinatorics. But again, it was not very, very solid, but it still helped at the end of the day because, yeah, when I later on learned things on my own, it kind of helped me out. So the teachers mostly helped in the materials aspect and the encouragement aspect. Yeah, they always like tell you, have you solved any questions today? If you say no, they'll tell you go and do something. So it's good like when someone can be able to like check, like yeah, checks and balances. Yeah, so it's good when someone is like yes, always like yeah, just motivate you to do something. So that's how the teachers they. Then my final math teacher in secondary school, yeah, was Mr. Olatunde. So he was also very, very encouraging. He also helped in materials and yeah, he helped a lot. He was very cool. The same way, yeah, he was also very encouraging, very, very encouraging. I really appreciate all these teachers then. Yeah, and I think they kind of knew that, yeah, Olympiad was not really their like their major thing. So they didn't like try to like force you to like they didn't like try to like force themselves on you, like trying to teach you by force. So they just like knew that it may be more helpful if they give you some materials and just try and encourage you at the background. So I think what they kind of did, and I think it was more helpful, yeah, to me. So that was my relationship with them. It was very, very fruitful, very wonderful. No mutual respect for everyone. So there was no problem whatsoever. Yeah, I think that was yeah. So I think that's how much can bear me witness to that. Yeah, but probably yeah. So that was it.
Yeah, of course I can.
Okay, sure. Oh, maybe you want to add some color to the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, at some point,
yeah,
when me and Williams were like in our later years in secondary school and even like gap years, were like the instructors in the school. So basically, Olatunde especially, when it was left for Olatunde and Mr. Fashe, they really like stepped aside and we were like leading the Olympiad department in Graceland, sort of. So what William said is true. They didn't force themselves upon us. They mostly gave us materials and pointed us in the right direction and encouraged us basically. And that was really, really very wonderful. Not to be looked down upon or not to be seen as insignificant. It was helpful.
Wow, that's really cool though. I mean, the roles of teachers in encouraging students to actually, get the best out of their journey, it cannot be overemphasized. So for the teachers out there, know that you have a great role to play in the lives of these students that are competing, because sometimes the journey can be very lonely and can be very tough, and they need your, basically a shoulder to lie on. So please make sure you become that shoulder for them. Okay, now we are going to shift gears and speak to Ottucci again, right? And what we would like to ask him is, how did his participation, affect his social life? I think especially for parents, now that I've become a parent, is something that I've started to think about, because having a balance, between a social life and also academic life is very important. So I wanted to know, is this something that was all studying and there was no social life at all, or there was a little bit of balance in your own journey?
The general consensus is that participation in Olympiads maybe makes you some kind of nerd or makes you socially awkward or something. But I don't think that was the case. It wasn't the case for me, and I don't think it was the case for any of us here. Of course, sometimes it can be really difficult to get that balance because I love to play basketball a lot. And one of my goals in secondary school was to win medals, lift trophies with the basketball team. So it can be difficult to find that balance. I accept that fact. I can be studying more and believe, okay, I need to play more basketball, or I can be playing more basketball and I'll be like, I'm slagging off. I need to study more. I have NMC rounds coming up. And so it can be difficult to strike that balance. But of course, more time studying means less time with your friends, less time with peers, less time on the football pitch, less time in the basketball court, and less time just gisting and being socially active. But it doesn't really mean that you have to just cut off from social life. Of course, I was still very social in secondary school. I had a lot of time chatting with friends in the dining hall, between classes, on the corridor. I mean, I was still very socially active, even though I was spending hours studying. It didn't affect my social life. It didn't make me socially awkward. I'm not a nerd. I mean, I'm here. I'm having this podcast. I'm not shying away. So, of course, that was my experience on my side. Yeah.
I feel like one thing that helped us a lot is that there was a way that our school organized the Olympiad program. So we took our classes in half the time, and then we had some extra time during school hours to do our Olympiad study. So it helped us, the study that you do after school, we had the opportunity to do it during school time. So give us a lot more room to have a life outside.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That helped a lot.
That helped a lot. Yeah, that's right.
Actually, that's a good model though to adopt for many schools if they want to do it.
But it's tough for the students though.
I think that's pretty nice. Now, continuing the conversation with Ottucci, right? I would like to know, I would like to understand what friendships have you developed during your own journey and while you were competing at the Olympiads actively?
Yeah. So about friendships at the Olympiads, one thing I loved most about my time competing in Maths Olympiads is that the difference between competing in Maths Olympiads and trying to be the first position in your class is that first position in your class happens inside your school, but competing to do well in Olympiads is something that happens across the country, and there are lots more people to meet there. So one thing that really stood out and was a bit weird about the Olympiad experience is that the third round and fourth round when we are the NMC, they're much more playful than people believe they are.
Yeah, exactly.
When people imagine us at the third round and fourth round, they think that maybe we're just reading morning till night or all that. But it's a lot more playful and interesting. It's a lot more interesting than people imagine that it is. Yeah. And so I got to meet a lot of people from across Nigeria, mostly from Ambassadors College, from Graceland, lots of people I meet. And I'm still in contact with most of them too. And even other teammates here like Mesumachi and Williams. Yeah, we met at third round camps too. I remember that time
I remember your touchlight phone.
Yeah, yeah, that cool too. Yeah. So that time when we were a bit younger, I didn't know much, and so we're a bit more playful. But we're a bit more playful because we didn't know much. And then Mesumachi and Williams will notice that we're playing around. Then they'll take our devices and tell us to solve a maths problem. Until we're able to solve the problem and get it back. So it was very interesting though.
That's how I work.
Yeah, that's another something about Olympiads. They get to like meet people from various places. Get to meet like the brightest minds in Nigeria. Because honestly, like people that do maths Olympiads and other Olympiads, they're like the brightest in Nigeria. I feel like at least 10 people or so that were in my Calvopedia edition were also at the Olympiads too. So you can just imagine, like you notice what I'm talking about. Like Calva is like for the best minds in Nigeria, and they're also in Olympiads. So it's a great thing to be part of. Yeah.
That's very cool. So now that you mentioned it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, also please, you can go ahead and add more color to the conversation.
You meet other people from other Olympiad teams, like you meet the Nigerian Physics Olympiad team, for instance. I remember we spent a long period of time with Amechi and Chidi and what's his name again? I can't remember his name basically, but yeah. So basically, there'll be that jab. We throw jabs at each other. I make fun of their physics theorems, like
Yeah,
this
I
whole
remember
stuff about
Yes.
relativity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, that was
And
Amici
even
and
with biology too.
Ipoli.
I don't know if you met
Yes.
Pelumi also. Did you meet Pelumi?
Yeah, I met
The biology
Pelumi.
Yeah.
Olympiad,
Yeah.
They had lots of arguments about biology and math, which is harder and all that.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So there's just that banter between the different teams, which is fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually, this is quite interesting. I mean, most people would think that the camps are just filled with lots of work, hard work, and all of that.
Nah,
But it's quite interesting that people
Papa.
actually meet each other, develop friendships, and then get to know more about each other, and then just banter and then have fun while working on tough problems. So that's quite interesting to know. So if you want your key,
just chip in. I remember his name, Ebuka. In case he's watching this, I'm not a bad friend. I remember your name.
You remember his what?
The second physics Olympiad guy, Ebuka, that we camped together. I just remember his name. So in case he's watching this, I'm not a bad friend.
Cool. I hope he watches this episode.
Yeah.
I will send it to him personally.
All right. If you're still watching this episode, I would like to tell you to wait till the end of this episode because we have a special announcement at the very end. So you'll be willing to, you would learn a lot by waiting till the very end of the episode. Or you can just skip to the end now and just watch that as well if that's
possible.
Also, don't forget that you can follow this conversation on our hashtag Meet the Team in all of our social media channels, on Facebook at Special Maths Academy, on Twitter at Special Maths, and on Instagram at Special Maths Academy. So you can ask any questions to any of our instructors and you'll be sure to get a response from them. Okay, now let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the future plans for Special Maths Academy, right? So I would like Mesomachi to give us a little bit of understanding of what the future plans for this company is and what we have in store for the future.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Dr. Abdulwahab, for that question. So about future plans, of course, when we started this academy, we've done what maybe most academies would do normally, but we've sat down and we've thought of how we can get better, deliver more to the community, the mass community in Nigeria and beyond. So one of our plans, of course, is to create video series, which would, make available to for people to purchase. We pick a particular topic, we create a video series on it, step by step. An instructor teaching and explaining in details, from basics, because of course we've all been there, we've all started from the bottom in maths, and we explain it in the best possible way, very explanatory videos. We'll create it in series, episodes 1, 2, 3, and in short bits, and we sell those series and for people to buy and learn a lot from them. Another thing we're working on is writing books. Of course, if you look at the Maths Olympiad in Nigeria, there are not a lot of books written by Nigerians, to explain to a typical Nigerian student, someone who gets this perspective. And we've sat down, we've thought about this. We all schooled our secondary schools in Nigeria, so we get you. Yeah. If you want to participate in the Olympiad, we get you. We see things from a perspective, and we believe we're in the best position to write such books to attend to the needs, to those needs of Nigerian students who want to, participate in the Olympiad. And then, of course, we have basically when we started this problem corner on our website and all that, we got a lot of messages from people. Is this a competition? Are we starting a competition and whatnot? And of course, we sat down and thought of it, and why not? So we're happy to announce that we'll be starting a competition this year. The first edition will start this year. So expect something great, something wonderful. It's best of its kind in Nigeria and beyond, of course, because Special Maths, we're not going to be tied down by one market, but of course, it's Nigeria and beyond. So you get to, compete, make friends, meet fellow bright minds, like minds, just as we've met one another here. Of course, each of us, what connects us, mostly is mathematics and of course other things. But yeah, you get to meet other people, and who knows, have your own clique as we have ours here. So yeah, we're starting a competition, and just keep in touch, and we'll keep you posted on that.
Oh,
Thank you.
that's quite nice. I just want to ask a little bit of, clarification about the competition. So with this competition, will it be a physical type of competition or will it be an online contest?
It's going to be an online contest.
Oh, nice.
And we're working on, the platforms, websites, everything is almost ready. And of course, our tech guy, Okezia, is going to talk more about that.
Oh, yeah, that's quite cool. Anyone else in the call that would like to add more color to what Mr. Mache has discussed so far about the future?
Yeah, I would like to say a thing or two. Concerning the books we are writing, I would like to assure our readers that I will show you two things. One, it will be of high quality, as I'm actually in charge of that, and I know where the confusion comes in from reading a book and it not making any sense. I'm sure you have done that too. They just tell you use this, and you begin to try to imagine the book. You begin to try to imagine the author, or they give you some kind of strange hints. Yeah, so
the proof is obvious.
So I'm actually if you've read Ivan Chen's book, you understand what I'm talking about. Ivan Chen tried, but even at that, if you've read it, you understand what I'm talking about. So I've kept these things in mind. We at SMA, we've kept this in mind. So the book is actually in construction, and I'm giving you an 80% chance. I'm not giving you 100%, 80% that by next academic session that will actually be sending it to the publisher, and you can actually get your copy towards the first rank. So
that would be great. That would be so great.
And the book is like well suited to like Nigerian students, since like lots of the exercises and examples we're going to be putting there are going to be problems from Nigerian Maths Olympiad. So there'll be problems from AMC, AIME there too, but there'll also be a lot of Nigerian Maths Olympiad questions there too. So like it helps you get familiar with the Nigerian system of Olympiad.
And also it will give them a little bit of different ranges of difficulty, right? From simple, intermediate, and advanced. So that would actually be very
cool. That would really help. Yeah.
I think most of our viewers will be very interested in this. If you're a parent watching this, make sure you watch out for these video series as well as the textbook series so that you can purchase them for your ward, right? It will be very helpful for their journey. All right, so now this is taking about an hour long now, so let's wind down a little bit. So now I would like to call on Okezia to give us to show us around a little bit of what the competition that Mr. Mache mentioned, the website, and what give us more information about what the competition is all about.
Yeah, thank you. So the name of the competition we're going to be organizing is the Special Maths Contest, SMC. So like Mr. Mache said before, it's going to be an online contest. So I've been sitting and I've been thinking a lot about it, and then I'd like to share with you the website that you can visit to sign up. So right now though, we're still getting things ready, but the competition will definitely be out sometime around April, sometime around May or June. So yeah, so if you're interested in taking part in the competition, you just have to go to our website, specialmathscontest.com. And when you go to the website, you'll see something like this initially. Then you just have to type your email address here, for example, okeze@gmail.com, and then click get notified. And whenever we release more information about the contest, for example, when we release more information about when the contest will start, when registration is open, we're going to send you an email to inform you about that. So don't forget, the website is specialmathscontest.com. You can visit it, you can visit the website and enter your email and sign up. And once everything is ready, we'll let you know, and you'll be the first to know about the contest. Yeah, so that's it.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Okezia. I think we are now in a good position to bring to the end of this first episode. So I'd like to thank the special team at Special Maths Academy for gracing their presence today to share with us some of their experiences, as well as some of the great work that Special Maths Academy is doing, right? And also I want to thank our viewers for watching till the end of this episode. Now, as you can see, I promised that you're going to get in the surprise at the end, and now you've gotten it, which is the contest. So start preparing. We have a lot of resources on our website that you can use to help you prepare, and make sure that you also, join our community, and you will get all information that you need to participate also in our summer program, which will be coming up, somewhere around August. So get ready for that as well. Now, without spending more time, this would be the end of this episode, and hopefully you're going to hear from us on future episodes. So have a nice day, and see you guys soon.
Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, man.
See you soon. Bye.